Hello, I'm Dragoș, and in this video we're going to take a look to easypanel. This is a next generation server control panel that can help you host applications, can help you host databases, and it has a lot of templates that can help you install various applications with just one click. We're going to see exactly what is easypanel and how you can deploy your first project in here. I've also written an article with all of these details and the steps that you need to do and have easypanel installed on your VPS. We are going to use Hasner VPS to host easypanel, and we're going to check exactly what it has to offer. So I have here already an installation, and you can see that I have some projects in here and some applications, some databases. You see that the interface is looking really nice, and it has a lot of monitoring things. Let's go and check easypanel first. So this is their website, easypanel.io. So easypanel, it's on the internet for some times, and it can help you with various deployments, SSL certificates, Docker files, everything it's done in Docker. And in here, for instance, you have the templates. And if you check, you see that you will have a lot of templates in here. For instance, you can install Plausible, you can install the N8N, the Zapier alternative, and a lot of applications and templates that are added all the time. You see, you can install Calcom if you want, and so on. So you can check this page to see exactly all the templates that easypanel has. Easypanel has a free tier that can help you host up to 3 projects with unlimited services and deployments. So in this project, you can add as many services and deployments as you like, and it has a basic monitoring, and you can enhance the functionality if you need with advanced monitoring, with multiple users, with access control if you want. And right now there is also cluster support that is currently in alpha that it's worked on. So yeah, easypanel, it's like this. To host it you need 2 GB of RAM and 2 CPUs. This is the list. Imagine that you'll have some containers that will run in here, and it will need to go and fetch things and run. So let's go and see how we can install the panel, and how you can configure it, and how you can deploy your project. So here I am in Hasner, and first thing that we're going to do is to have a server added so we can install top panel. And in here you have the options to choose from multiple data centers. You can choose a data center that is nearest to your visitors or the ones that is using this. I will also link into the description with Hasner review. I will choose Ubuntu. For this, I will choose the latest version 22.04. I will choose the x86 shape, and for this I will just gonna use the 2 CPU shape with 2 GB of RAM, that it's about €5. Let me go and choose the SSH key to connect to this installation, and in here I will just give it a name, and in here I will just put in like ep.vidos.com. So I will install this easypanel into a subdomain. You can put it into a domain if you want. And let's go and create this server. Right now we have the server. The next thing that we need to do is to go to the server and access it with SSH. Let me start the terminal in here. So to do that, we're just going to use the SSH -e IDRSA is the key, root is the user, and the server IP. Yes, in here. And right now we're connected to the VPS server that we've just created. The next thing that we're going to do is to update the server to be sure that we have the latest packages in here. So I have in here all the commands that you need to run and do all of this. So I will run the update and upgrade, and this should take about a couple of minutes to upgrade everything. Okay, everything is up and running. It has the latest versions in here. You can also reboot this in case it had something to upgrade. In our case, we see that nothing was upgraded because the image had all the packages updated, so you don't need to reboot it. The next thing that we are going to do is to add a swap, because this server doesn't have a swap added. If you are going to check in here, you will see that you don't have any swap. So it's good to have swap added to your VPS server. So in case some processes remain without memory or are idle for some time, to go in here and use the swap. To do this, I put it some steps in here. First, we're gonna create a file. It will be 2 GB for this small shape, but if you have like 60 or 32 GB of RAM, you can create bigger files with swap file. Let me run these commands and do it. Okay, I've created a swap file. Next, I will change the permission on this swap file. Then we're going to make it as a swap. Okay, then we are going to add the swap to the running process, and then we are going to add the swap in the etcfs tab, so in case the server gets rebooted, to be automatically added when the server starts. So right now, if we're going to check with top, we're going to see that we have 2 GB of swap added to our server, and we can go and do the next steps. So yeah, after we're just going to install easypanel. Easypanel, it can be easily installed. You just need to run this command and it will install Docker and everything for you. And let's go and do just that. So let me run the command. And right now the easypanel will start installing. It will install Docker and everything that it needs to run on this server. At the end, you will be prompted with the IP address and the port that you are going to use and access the easypanel. This installation shouldn't take a lot of time. In maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes, it should finish. Right now, Docker is pulling everything, so you see that right now we have a IP address with the port. In case you're using other provider and the port is not open, you need to open it so it can be accessed externally. So right now, if we're going to run docker ps, you are going to see that these are the images that were installed for this. You have the application, you have the reverse proxy for this, and right now we are just going to go and access this installation. So first thing, if you are going to put the IP address on the port, you will be prompted to set up easypanel. I will add my email address with the password, and I will let this active, and I will set up easypanel. Okay, let me save this. So right now you see that you have the interface in here, and this is the interface for them. In here you have the version, in here you have the IP address of the server, in here you have projects, you have the overview with what is happening on your server, you have the CPU, memory, disk, network, you have the options to buy a license, you have the settings in here, the monitor in here. But yeah, this is not available in the free tier. We are going to check the pro one to see what you can see in here. And this has also a dark mode, which I really like because I'm mostly using dark mode on my websites. You have the options to get a license in here if you want. And yeah, right now the next thing that we are going to do is to configure a subdomain that will point to this installation, so we can add the SSL certificate and access this server securely. Already this should be available in here if we go to the general, but I want to use my custom one for this. I don't want to use the easypanel one, but if you don't have a domain, you can easily go and use the one that easypanel set up for you. So let's go and copy the IP address for this server. And in here I have the website bdoze.com, and I'll create a subdomain for this. I'll go into the DNS, and in here what we need to do is to add an A record, and I'll go and add an A record with easypanel IP to be shorter, I will put IP. I will not proxy this because I don't need it. I will hit save, and right now I have a subdomain that it's pointing to my server IP address, and the next thing that needs to be done is to go on easypanel and add our custom domain in here so we can access it securely. Let me put it ep.windows.com, and in here we can click save. So right now the panel should be updated, and if we're going to try and access this, we should be able to go and use the administration domain. And in here, for instance, let's go and do HTTPS. And you see that right now you are accessing the easypanel securely. And let me put the IP address, sorry, the email address for this and the password that I've set it. Okay. Okay. So right now we're logged in and we're using the administration subdomain. Another thing that you can do in here is to go and activate the two-factor authentication. So in here you have the settings in here, and you go to the 2FA authentication, and in here you can configure the 2FA authentication. This will be done with the Google Authenticator. You just need to have the application installed and scan the QR code, and that's it. Afterwards, easypanel can only be accessed through the 2FA authentication, and this will make your website more secure, so no one can access the easypanel without the two-factor authentication. Another thing that you can do in here is to add the GitHub token. So basically what this GitHub token is, it's a access token that will link the easypanel to GitHub. You need to go in here and create it, and you can create the token and add it in there. I already have one created, and this will help easypanel to connect to GitHub and pull the repositories that are not public. I've already created a token in here, and you just need to add it in here so you can link this, but you can deploy public projects if you want. We are going to do that without needing to link GitHub. For this, in here you have the license that you can add if you have like a pro license users, but for the users and backups you need a pro license. And right now let's go and check the project size. So in here you see that you have the projects, and in here you have the options to add the projects. In the free version you can add up to 3 projects, but in these projects you can add as many services and application as you like. So in here you can set like a project name. I'll put like Dragos project like this, and right now you have the Dragos project created, and in here you have the options to add a service or to add a template for this. For the service, in here you can install an application, you can install a database if you want. I will go for the application, and in here I have a static website done in WordPress hosted in GitHub that we can use and pull it. Let me put the name up static like this, and I will hit create. And in here you see that you have some options. The first option is to put the GitHub details for this. So this is, it does it, it will be the repository. Let me go and see what repository I have in here to put correctly the name. So this is the repository where I am storing the WordPress website. It's a public one, so easypanel will have access without the token. In here, branch, it will be the main one. Build path, it will be like this. Then we can hit save. Okay, let me put the path like this. Okay, and then you have the build option. So basically you can build this with a Docker file, with Heroku build packs, with Paketo or Nix packs. I will let the Nix packs for this, and I will hit save. So right now we should have the details added in here, and what we'll need to do is to hit deploy. And right now the application should start deploying the static websites. If we go in here, we should see in here the details. Yeah, right now it's building everything. But at the end we should have an application in here that can be accessed. Let's let it run. This should take, in function of your project or the size, up to a couple of minutes. You see that right now the application was deployed. In here you have environment variables, you can add them in here. In domains, you will have the domains option, so you can add this into the domain you want. So you can add the domain in here. By default, the easypanel, it's adding its own domain, so you can access this website's directly. If you go to this, you see in here that you can add your own domain. You can change the port if the application is using some other ports than the 81. And in here you can go and just open this. And right now you see that my static website, it's just working. So this is hosted on easypanel. And if we are going to go and check, it's finally functional. It's working perfectly. And it was deployed in just a couple of minutes. And in here you have some logs. For instance, you have the access log. If you want, you can make them bigger, and you will see the traffic and what is happening in there. You can stop this, force rebuild it. You can enable the auto deploy. What auto deploy will do, it will fetch the latest version. So when you are putting something into this repository, it will go and automatically fetch it. But for this, you need to have the GitHub linked to this. We're going to see in the other installation with the pro options the details for this. In here you can open a console if you want. In here you have the bash or sh, so this will go directly into the container and into the application. And in here you see that you have the website details. With this you have some redirect options. You can enable basic authentication if you want to protect this with a password. Again, in here you can add your domain, but first, to add your domain you need to go and add a record that is pointing to this server IP, and you just add it in here. And in here you have some advanced options. You add some ports, you can add some mounts, you can allocate resources, and so on. Right now I will go into the other installations. This is the pro installation that I have, and in here you see, for instance, the auto deploy. It's enabled because in settings, if we're going to check the settings, you have GitHub linked with a token, and easypanel can easily go and pull the latest modifications if you want. So in here, let's go to the project, and in the project we're going to see my WordPress website. You see that I've added a domain in here that I made it as the main one, and if we're going to open it, you'll see that this domain right now it's going through this website, so it's not with Cloud Panel. It's just using my own domain for this website and project. Okay, the other things that I've installed in here, it's an N8N application. So this is like a Zapier alternative that you can deploy. To do that, a new service. So you go to the project that you've just created, and you click the templates, and in here you have the templates that you can choose for. For instance, let's say we want to deploy plausible analytics, and in here you can search it. You can choose the plausible. In here you put the name. In here you have the options to choose the tag version. You can put the latest, to use the latest one. In here you have the database for this. Right now you just need to go and hit create. And right now let's go to the projects, and you will see that these projects right now they are creating, and it will create all the things that are needed. Let's wait, this should finish fast. So right now Plausible it's installed in here. You see that you have the options in here, and right now it's just doing the fetching and installing. And in here you have again some options for the deployment. To view it, you have the environment in here. So if you're using some Plausible settings, you can add them in here and rebuild everything. For instance, if you want to add a SMTP server to receive emails, you add them in here with Plausible specifications, and this will use them. In here you can add your domain name. Again, you have the default domain added in here by easypanel. In the advanced you had the volumes and things like that. If we're going to check the Plausible ClickHouse database, in here you have the event databases with mounts. Again, you have the resources that you can allocate. And if we're trying to access this, let's go to domains. You can do so, and you see that you will have the Plausible installed. You just create your account and you can start using Plausible with just one click. Same it's happening in here. You can see, for instance, in here I've created a domain and assign easypanel to use it. And if we're going to open, you see in here that Plausible it's installed, and you can log in here and add your WordPress websites or other websites that you may want. For the DB in here, you have also the options with the password and everything that were created. You can configure this. You can enable backups. These backups are available in the Pro plans. And yeah, like this you can add projects. You can add as many templates as you want with applications. In here you can assign them as you okay. And right now, for instance, if we're going to check the monitor area in here, because this is a Pro, you will have these advanced stats that will help you see exactly the memory utilization and the CPU network that are happening on the projects you have. You see, like in this Astro project that I have in here, I have all of these projects, and you see that Plausible ClickHouse, it's using the most memory, it's using the most network for this. And yeah, you have these basic options in here if you like to check. And in here for the license, I inputted my license. You have the options to add users that can access the easypanel. You can create backups. You can add the destinations for the backups if you want. In here you can have some options in here. These are the current options where you can back up your applications. You have the cluster, but right now this is in alpha. I didn't play around with it a lot. You have the options. So yeah, this is easypanel, and this is how it can help you host the application easily. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.